go through this session to the glory and honor of your name. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Let's have our seats. Thank you so much. Our praise and worship team, we truly appreciate you. Mungu wabariki sana. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Faith Nashipai. Wangare's friend and a neighbor. Sisi ni wale watu tunajiita Village Women Association. And we are here to support Mama Joe. Joe is a son of our community. And therefore, we share in the loss with our sister. The loss of a child is a painful process. The loss of a loved one and a son, a schoolmate, is not an easy thing. And therefore, my condolences to all of us as we share in this. And more so, Wangari, Mama Joe. As we begin our session today, our service today, I am having a co-MC, a co-moderator, that is Sami Moriah. Sami Moriah happens to be an uncle to Joe, and they were pretty close. And so he's going to take us through part of the program, as I'm also going to support him in part of the program today. And before we call on Uncle Sam, I'd like us to call the person who's going to read for us the eulogy so that we can have that done. This is Mekali? Okay. Karibu, let's clap for her and encourage her as he comes. This place is not an easy place. You're welcome.
Hey, good afternoon. Mimi sikuwa nimeprepare hii, nimeambiwa tu kidogo tu na Kare that kindly read the eulogy. I've had the pleasure of knowing Wangari and Mwadulo as my colleagues, as people we've worked together for many years. I've watched Joe babysat him as we did rehearsals and performances with Wangari. So this is indeed a sad day. And to the parents of this young boy, Poleni Sana, Mwadulo was my director as late as last year when I was doing Kina. And so this is not easy. And as impromptu as this is to be able to read the eulogy of such a young boy, I will do it with a lot of pride because I see that these two young people brought up a child so beautiful and wonderful, that so many beautiful things are being said about him, that so many of his schoolmates and age mates are here to testify the braveness and the beauty. Joe Mwadulo. So without any further read the eulogy of Joseph Mwadulo. The year is 2006. The place Kikuyu Hospital, Thogoto. It's a few minutes from midnight on the 9th of December. A champion is born. Morrison Mwadulo and Mary Wangari Geosho welcome a little human being into this world. His name is Joseph Mwadulo Mwagoho. Weighing 3.8 kilograms at birth, Joe was a typical bouncing baby boy. His beautiful eyes, chubby cheeks, and naive smile brought joy, purpose, and happiness to his parents' life. Joe was a sweet boy from birth, staying true to his name, Mwadulo, which means beehive, a great name that he shares with his grandfather, Joseph Mwadulo. A flower to his parents, a gem to his grandparents and family, and a son to the Kenya film and theater industry, Joe was loved by everyone. He was a brave, charming, and lovable boy. Joe was caring, and very accommodating. One of his mom's fondest moments was when Joe, at 3 years old, dragged her to the neighbor's house to check on a baby who was intensely crying. She remembers Joe rushing towards a little girl, comforting her. This was Joe, the selfless, caring boy. And just like any other growing boy, Joe was adventurous, playful, and curious. He had his moments, like when he was stuck on top of a tree, on top of a tree while harvesting the neighbor's mangoes and had to fight a dog. Chelsea remembers when he would hide underwater at the swimming pool, then prank his friends by touching their feet. He was full of life, so full of energy. He was so glad when he got a baby brother, Jeremy, and he became Jeremy's basketball coach and protector. Jeremy might have lost a tooth in the process, but hey, who's counting? Joe was a true big brother. If train up a child in the world he should go, and when he is old he will not depart from me, was an example, it would be Joe. He loved God and was not afraid of declaring it. He was a leader and an achiever even from a young age. Abby remembers their moments at the Word of Life camp, a Bible camp that he frequently attended during the school holidays. She remembers how active he was in memory verse competitions, his participations during Bible hour, how loved he was by everyone, and his great interest in basketball at the camp. Mikal, his counselor at the camp, remembers how passionate and dedicated Joe was. In the last camp of 2023, Joe was crowned the best camper, a title he still holds. He was looking forward to the April 2024 camp, as well as the Form 4 Leavers Word of Life Diani camp at the end of the year. He also wanted to become a counselor at the same camp after clearing school. Joe's parents are both artists, and apart from playing a few small acting roles in church, he paved a different path for himself, that of active sports. He was an all-rounded champion who left a lasting mark in everything that he touched. Dulo, as his friends called him, could perfectly play the trumpet in the school's band. He could play the drums and the melody. He could swim effortlessly and was also an excellent gamer. In football, Dulo was a winger and a good one at that. His favorite team was the Blues, Chelsea. He loathed Manchester United and was always bantering Norman and his other Man U friends. I'm sure the April 4th game between Chelsea and Man U would have been one of his best moments this year. His greatest of all time in football was CR12, Cristiano Ronaldo. Basketball was his other great love, and he was a shooting guard. To put it in perspective, a shooting guard's main objective is to score points for their team and steal the ball on defense. Michael Jordan, one of Joe's icons, was a shooting guard. Yani Dulo ndio alikuwa tegemeo. By the time of his demise, he was an assistant captain in his school's basketball team. That's how good Dulo was in the pitch. Basketball brought so much joy to him. In return, Dulo used the same game to impact the lives of others. He was a trainer, a young coach, and a great encourager of many. He once came across a 22-year-old boy who was drowning into drugs while trying to deal with grief, introduced him to basketball, and trained him. The boy has since stopped indulging. That was Dulo, winning games, hearts, and souls. By the time of his demise, he was, from an early age, Joe was always a bright boy. Always top 3 in class rankings. His time in Kiurum Singibora Nursery School and the Green Garden School were some of his parents' proudest moments. One of the longest friends, Melvin, remembers how great a person he was in primary school. His favorite subjects were geography, CRE, and Kiswahili. He was a darling to the teachers and students, participated in almost all the activities, clubs, and still maintained an excellent performance. For his secondary education, Joe joined Chavakali High School, some 390 kilometers away from home. The distance did not deter him from being the best in his class or leading in the field. His charm followed him all the way to Chavakali. His liveliness and charisma will remain engraved in the lives of his friends, their thoughtful Friday podcast meetings, their entertainment moments at the school, their time on the field, their time at school will not be the same. Joe wanted to pursue aviation, to either become an air traffic controller, ATC, or a pilot. His spirit lives on. Fly, Joe, fly. 17 years, 3 months, and 29 days from the day Joe was born, he breathed his last. On the 1st of April, 2024, through a road accident, a flower was plucked from us. Some of Dulo's last moments on earth was him sharing samosas with Norman, telling Mwita to send him the exam timetable, bantering his other friends who were to leave the next day, and securing his back left seat on the fateful Easy Coach bus. What if they didn't travel at night? What if the plans didn't change last minute? What if he boarded a different bus? What if he sat at a different spot? What if Kenyan roads were safe? And what if? These are some of the what ifs running through our minds, some of the questions that we'll never have answers to. And all that you're left with are beautiful moments, smiles, laughter, impact, and fond memories that Dulo gifted us. Mom is crushed, Dad is devastated, Grandpa Mwadulo, Shushu Gladwell, and Rachel are hurt beyond measure. Your siblings, your uncles, your aunties, your cousins, your whole family mourns. All close friends, Green Gardens, Word of Life, Nairobi Chapel, Chavakali, Kikuyu Town, your teammates, your flatmates, your hoodmates are shattered. Your parents, friends, and families are grieving. The whole country mourns you, Joe. You were loved. We hope you knew that. Salimia Auntie Mokami, Joseph Dulo Mwadulo Magoho, our champion, will forever remain in our hearts. Urokoma kwega, kuraga kwaheri.
Let's appreciate Mbeki Mwalimu for a job well done. Like my co-MC said, my name is Mura, and I'm an uncle to Joe. And I think, having accepted this responsibility today, I'm still struggling on whether to mourn, celebrate, whether to be an MC or be an uncle. But I choose to celebrate Joe. And in that breath, I just want to ask everyone to just stand up. Those of you who have smartphones, get them out. I just want you to give you a small task, small responsibility, so that we can do something that our Joe loved doing a lot, which was smiling and laughing. I want you to take a photo with the people around you, kindly, with a smile, by the way. We said we are celebrating Joe, right? Hello? We said we are celebrating Joe, didn't we? That's why we're here. So get out those phones, take a smiley selfie. A smiley selfie, meaning you're smiling. And then kindly post on your socials. It can be Instagram, it can be Twitter, it can be Facebook, and tag some of those people next to you with the hashtag Dulo Memorial. Hashtag Dulo Memorial. And I'm loving the fact that I'm seeing so many smiley faces in the room. Once we're done with that, we can have our seats. We are going to have more tributes coming. And there's a gentleman that has been mentioned as one of the few that was with Joe during his last moments on that fateful night. Norman Ayaga and Brian Milo from Chavakali Boys. If you guys can just walk to the stage, because we want you to be the first ones to share your tributes to your friend and the champ that was Joe. And kindly, let's keep posting. Let's appreciate these two young boys as they come to the stage. Now, I was told I am a bad cop by the Reverend, so when you see me standing around you, just know I'm telling you to wind up, but I do not want to rush you. Just share your story about Joe.
Afternoon to everyone. So today we are gathered here to pay our last respects, rather to gather in honor of a friend, a brother to many, and a person who shared different relationships with different people. Our hearts are heavy and words cannot summarize how hurt we are for the demise of Dulu. But what's important is the memories shared at heart of him. I remember how enthusiastic he was at school. At first when he joined Form 1, he joined rugby for some weird reason. And it was like, Dulu mbona joined rugby? He was like, I want to be buff and strong like those other men like Colin Sinjera and stuff. It was like, no, you have to join basketball to attain the 6-foot dream and all that. So he joined basketball. He was so full of energy. And then after some few holidays, he went and perfected the art and became the best at the court. He was given the shooting guard position. He usually helped us a lot up to the regional levels, mostly at the semi-finals. Like the last competitions, we reached the semi-finals and he dropped a lot of points, which was his dream. At class, he was always so jovial. He was never sad, because anytime he came into a setup, he would light up the mood and everyone would be happy to be with him. He shared so many jokes, others dark. He was such a jovial boy. You'll never get him sad. And if he's sad, like for our male mental health, we organized Friday podcasts, which was his idea. And in those podcasts, that was what we call them, we'll talk about different issues affecting teenagers, like how we deal with girls back at home, or how we deal with peer pressure, how we deal with pressure at school from our teachers to work. And it was getting to us like badly, but he was so jovial and never let his guard down. Even though we had so many examinations, he was like, you should still maintain your mood, you should still be jovial, because at the end of the day, we'll finish Form 4 and we'll have so many visions out there. He dreamed to be an ATC, and it's bad that it can't be, but it's God's plan. Nobody intended for it to happen. He was an healthy person. Nobody could think that he could die or something. The thought has never crossed my mind, because it was usual for him to go home, go online, post something on Instagram, start daily banters about Manchester United and Chelsea. Like the previous game that Chelsea won, I know he would have been happy. At the group, those were just many of his memories, and I'm sad that he's gone, and I understand how everyone feels here. We can cry, we can laugh, but what Mwadulo would have wanted for all of us to do was to laugh and always be jovial, because he was a jovial person. At heart, he was good and generous to many. If he had a lot, he will share with others, and he will give advices where needed, and he will give good solutions to where different problems were. That was Mwadulo. He was raised well, he had good principles. He had a good relationship with the teachers, students. He was just a good man. And I'm sad to lose a friend, and I'm sorry to all of you. Yeah.
Yeah, Norman has already said a lot. Now, although Mwadulo died young, I would safely say Joseph Mwadulo's life was really an awesome lived life. Joseph was, just as he said, a friend to many, a brother to so many more. Throughout the 3 years I've known him, Mwadulo has been so lively. I remember back in Form 1, when I first went to Shavakali. You know, Vihiga was so far away, I didn't even know where it was. But in that quiet moment of ours, both of us confused, Mwadulo was the one who came into my bubble and asked me, how are you doing? What's your name? Where are you from? He just brightened up my mood. He was one of the very first friends I met in high school. Joseph was a guru in everything he did. In his academic endeavors, he was crowned king of the court. He was even bestowed upon the title ATC to be. You know, Mwadulo genuinely cared. He cared for each and every one of us. And I think that was one of his most awesome traits. Joseph, we used to call him Dulo. Dulo would put a smile on everyone's face. He literally influenced masses, going by the numbers that are here. Mwadulo was that kind of guy who made everyone lighten up to him. Be it teachers, students, everyone, literally everyone. Joseph, we really love you. And even though your death has taken us by surprise, we will forever cherish the memories you've given us. Thank you for sharing your life with us, Dulo. We love you.
Let's give these two boys a bigger clap than that, please. I believe it takes a lot of courage for them to just come and stand here and share their stories. Now, Norman and Brian, as you guys were talking about the Manchester United banter, I literally felt like you are talking to me, because I don't think there's anyone who faced that banter more than I did. Because as a young boy, I tried to ask Joe to come and support my team, Manchester United. And we also had another one of his uncles called Aizo, who is an ardent Liverpool fan. But the boy looked at both of us, and I keep saying he decided to choose peace. And choosing peace at that particular moment was going with Chelsea, which is the team he supported, and an ardent Liverpool fan. But the boy looked at both of us, and I keep saying he decided to choose peace. And choosing peace at that particular moment was going with Chelsea, which is the team he supported until he rested. And I feel like just looking at the match that was played between those two teams last week, the dramatic end for those who understand football, because Manchester United were winning 2-1, actually 3-2 until the last minute of the game, and then something happened, and that was overturned, and by the time I went to the loo and came back, the score was already 4-3. And I can only imagine what sort of banter Joe would have given me on that particular day. I want to call upon some of Joe's friends to also share their tributes, and there's a song that has been done by Hibo. Is Hibo in the room? Yeah? Well, there's a song that has been done in tribute of Joe So maybe that can play in the background as part of a tribute. But Melvin Muniu, kindly come and also just share something about your pal Joe. Let's appreciate Melvin as he comes to the stage.